Hey everyone, this is Hannah with the Rocket Miner giving you today's news update. First off, today is primary election day for Wyoming, so happy election day. I hope that everyone's had the chance to vote, whether you did absentee ballots and mailed them in or dropped them off, or if you went in person today to vote. By the time this video goes up, you'll probably have a little bit more time to go if you haven't gone and voted yet. The polls close at 7 tonight, so make sure that you get out there and get your vote counted. And for the election results, we'll share those as soon as we can. The best place to watch for updates would be rocketminer.com. So for the results, just keep an eye out on our website, and we'll share things on our social media when we can. So keep checking back with us to get the results from today. Today, most of the news updates I have are related to COVID-19. So first off, to just go over the numbers and where we're at in Wyoming. Today we're up to 2,850 confirmed cases with 510 probable cases. With all of the numbers put together and everything, we have 567 active cases right now. I was a little discouraged when I did that math today and realized that that's where the active cases were at. Around last week was when we were starting to say that we were encouraged that we were going down again. It was getting down below 500. I think it was around 480 some days. But now the active case number has gone right back up to where it was before. So we're at 567 right now, and went back pretty quickly, which was a little discouraging to see. But we definitely need to keep watching that, keep in mind where we're at with our active cases and watching the numbers and how they're changing, and just the fact that things are getting worse again. Also today we are up to 34 COVID-19 related deaths. There were the 3 deaths that were added to our state's total yesterday that Caleb explained in his video last night. And today there was another death reported by the Wyoming Department of Health. Today they reported that a Fremont County man who was confirmed to have COVID-19 has died. This was an adult man, and he did have health conditions that are recognized as putting patients at higher risk of illness related to COVID-19, and he had been hospitalized before he died. But his death today puts us up at that total of 34. And as with every death, our hearts and condolences go out to the family and the friends and everyone who is grieving this loss. We've had a few other updates too today and over the weekend of places around the state noting where they're at with their COVID cases and their active numbers. Here in Sweetwater County, we're up to 263 confirmed cases and 16 probable. So with those together, we're just shy of 300 cases here total. And today, the YWCA of Sweetwater County did report contact with an individual who has COVID-19. They said in a press release, "Even though all requirements were followed, YWCA did learn this past weekend that a case of COVID-19 was detected at the Child Care Center's Early Care Building. At this stage, it is believed to be only a single case, and the person is quarantining at home." The YWCA has been working with the Department of Health on contact tracing and trying to find the extent of the exposure. They also said in their press release, "It was determined out of an abundance of caution to close 2 classrooms in the early care and quarantine those students and teachers connected to those rooms. The other classroom in the building and the Learning Center classrooms were not affected at this time. The classrooms will remain in quarantine for 14 days, and YWCA and the Department of Health will continue to monitor their health and well-being." And they just explained that as they go forward, they will keep monitoring their staff and the children in their classrooms to see if there's any concern. They notified the parents and caregivers this weekend who may have been in contact with that confirmed case. They also arranged for an outside agency to do a thorough cleaning of both the buildings, in addition to the daily cleaning that's being done by their child care staff. They said that administrative staff and the public entering the building will continue to be required to wear a face mask and practice social distancing. Parents will continue to be asked not to enter the classrooms in order to stay 6 feet from any child not a part of their household. Also, hand washing and temperature taking of staff and repeated hand washing for children will continue to be a daily requirement. So as they go forward, they've done what they can to isolate this confirmed case and quarantine and sanitize, and then going forward, they'll just keep practicing all of these safety measures that they have in place. We also had an update from the Wyoming Department of Corrections. They said that 18 inmates and 5 staff at the Wyoming State Penitentiary have active cases of COVID-19. Along with those active cases, we have 11 inmates and 13 staff who have recovered after they contracted the virus. So as of where things are at right now, there have been 47 staff and inmates there who have tested positive. And as I said, there are 18 of those that are active right now. They said that for now the facility is on a modified lockdown, meaning that inmate movement is limited within the prison and prisoners are kept to small-sized groups for activities. And they did say those with active COVID-19 cases are isolated as well. And they reported that as of right now, there are no other active cases at other Wyoming corrections facilities. And then the other organization we got an update on COVID numbers from was the University of Wyoming. They said they have 38 active cases of COVID-19 after they identified 30 new staff and students with the disease over the weekend. 2 of the active cases are students who are living in the residence halls, and there were 8 people in contact with those students who are now in quarantine. They said they believe that only those 8 are the ones who need to be quarantined because of their exposure to the ones who were confirmed to have the virus. Other positive cases that are connected to UW are not cases that are necessarily like on campus or directly connected to the school itself, but connected because they're students or staff. So some of the other cases are University of Wyoming students who are self-isolating, who are currently outside of Laramie. There are some students in Laramie who live in off-campus housing, and they said that these students have had no presence on campus. And then there are a couple UW employees who are now isolating at home. The university just began a lot of testing in getting ready to return to school, and they announced last week that they would not reopen for in-person learning in August. They're going to have classes start online on August 24th, and in-person school will begin phasing in on September 7th. So as of right now, even though there are the 38 active cases, most of them are not necessarily on campus, even though they're connected to the school. So those were the updates we got from those different groups and where they're at with their COVID cases and what's being done in response to them. As I said, it was a little discouraging to see that our active cases have gone back up again. We were starting to head in the right direction and to get those case numbers down, but now they're continuing to rise, and obviously there are concerns with things like school starting up again. Just in thinking about how we'll handle these things as they come up. But with that, I would just keep encouraging everyone to take the precautions and the steps that our health officials are telling us will be helpful in preventing the spread of COVID-19. Wear face masks when you're in public, social distance, wash your hands frequently. I know that these things get tedious and we can get impatient with where we're at with this, but the more impatient we get, honestly, the longer it's going to take for us to flatten the curve and to get those numbers back down and to get over this. So just encourage everyone to keep taking those precautions and being careful and doing as much as you personally can do to make sure that you're being safe and careful, protecting yourself, protecting the people around you, so that we can hopefully start getting that active case number back down again. So thank you for listening. Those are the updates for today. As I said, keep checking with us for more results on the election. We'll have those soon. And I hope everyone has a good night.